Hey guys, Chris here with SiteHustleAcademy.com, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create a complete low content book on Amazon.com and put it on Amazon KDP so you can sell it on there and earn royalties from it. Now, if you watched my last video, I talked about this entire process and what it looks like and what kind of money you could earn from it. So if you haven't had a chance, go check that video out before you watch this one, because in this video I'm going to be using a tool called BookBolt, which will actually show you everything you need to know on how to create this book. And this is probably the primary tool I use for creating this. I don't use Canva or any of that stuff. I just use BookBolt because it's the simplest tool out there to use to make all this happen. So if you'd like to follow along as well, I do have a link below this video in the description. It's an affiliate link that you can click on, go to, and you can get a 3-day free trial just to follow along, and you can create your free books, your own books as well, for the first 3 days for free before you get charged the full price. And the great thing about this free trial is that you'll get a risk-free 3-day free trial when you sign up, and you can go ahead, create your first few books, see if you like this, and if it's something for you, great. If not, you don't have to pay anything, and you can get started trying this out for nothing and not having to put any money in towards this. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and we'll get started with the video. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to come up with an idea for a book that we want to create. And to do this, we're just going to start by going to keyword research, and we're going to just do word search puzzle books. And we're just going to look around a little bit. Now, this is one of the easiest ways. I like to just shuffle that up and then start from alphabetically, and we can start just kind of zipping through and seeing what is available and out there, and kind of see a bunch of different options out here. So for example, we could do Florida, so we click on that number there. So it looks like 104 monthly sales, an A rating, which is great. That would be a great one to create a book about. We get all the way down the list. We just keep clicking through all these and looking at them. And one of the things you do is you click this little more details button right here. So if we say we like the one on magic word search book, puzzle book, we could click the details again, A, and 160 monthly sales. So that means there's a lot of sales going on with some of these books, and there's over 2,000 searches a month for this particular term, so that's a good deal. So it looks like a lot of people are seeming to buy this. So I would say there's so many different ones, and then any of these that you do like, that you see, like, we like say pharmacy word search puzzle book. Sounds kind of weird that there'd be a puzzle book on pharmacies, but guess what? There's sales, there's stuff here, so this is good. We can add that to our list. And then I created a list called word search books, and then we add it to that. So pretty simple, pretty easy. One thing I will say is you want to stay away from terms that are very generic, like pocket puzzle word search book. I mean, that's just more of like something that you would have in your pocket. And then if you go something very generic, like just straight out word search puzzle book, don't try to create the ultimate word search puzzle book, because those are going to be very, very competitive on Amazon. You're probably not going to rank for those. So I did a little research up front, and I ended up coming up with one term I wanted to do one on called wine. Let's see what wine. I like wine word search puzzle book, 4,354 terms, and looks like that's pretty good. And there's a few other related terms, so it's not just one term, but there's some related ones here as well. So it looks like we've got some pretty good options there as far as books that we could create. So let's go ahead and we're going to start by doing that. So there you go, that's the word search. And then anytime you want to go back, you can always go back to your ones that you favorite, and you can keep pulling ones off of that list. All right, from here, you're going to want to go into BookBolt Studio, and we're going to create this book itself now. So I'll jump in. I'll show you one of the books I created in my last video. This is the book I showed called Farming Word Search. Simple book that I created, and this is what most of my books look like, simply because I think this design looks great, looks easy. And we're going to start by creating the cover of our book. And one of the things I recommend that you do is find a design that works well for you. This is just what I found I like to create. Maybe you look at it and you're like, I could create something way better. Great, by all means do that. And I recommend that you do, because you're going to want to try to differentiate yourself, your business, and stand out from everybody else that's creating stuff and putting it out there, because Amazon itself can be very very competitive. So you want to create and build stuff that's going to be, better than the last guy. Then that'll help you give that edge to you as you're getting your KDP book business up and going. So all right, let's go ahead. The first thing we're going to do is create a new project now, and we're just going to start by let's see, we're going to create it, and we're going to put wine word search puzzle book 6x9, and then we're going to say 6x9 images. This is the trim size, so I like 6x9. This is probably one of the most competitive sizes to create. It's also going to keep the book a little smaller, so your printing charges will not be as high. And then also looking at this black and white interior white paper, that's what we prefer. And then we want to keep the book 110 pages because we're going to be creating 55 puzzles with 9 words to each puzzle. So it's 495 total words. And then we want to keep bleed on, because when we create images that go on our covers, that those images are going to extend past the size of the book, and then it will help us create the image in book. We don't have to fit it to size or anything and do all kinds of wacky stuff there. So trying to make images work. So all right, so then we got that. We'll hit create. All right, now that we have this, we have everything loading here, and we're ready to go. So everything is set now. One thing we will have to do is remove all of this stuff. So the way we do that, we just click this little item right here, and we hit hide cover template and hit OK. Okay, now that we have that created, the next thing that we need to do is actually create a very simple background for this book. So for example, in this one, we're looking for wine. So here's one. We'll just type in the word wine, and let's see what we get here. Okay, wine. Lots of options here with wine. I like this one right here. That's kind of neat. I like these ones that are sitting in this direction, not so much this direction, because it's going to be a lot easier to put this on a book than putting, say, this on a book. And then I want to stay away from things like this, because like this is just, it's not going to show up well on a book. That's kind of neat, but it's not wide enough. This would be taller. That would look pretty cool. The wine glasses, that would be a good option. Let's just do a little bit of scouring though. Just look down and see what we get. Ooh, that looks cool. I love how that is. The only problem I have with that, if you think about your book sitting here, this is going to be right on the binding of the book itself, and it's not going to look the best. Now, if the bottle would be sitting more right here on this left side of this picture, it would look. So you got to kind of think about that a little bit and how you would like that to look. So I do like this image though too, so we might consider using this image, but we'll see. I've got ideas. That's not a bad image as well. It's just I don't know if I want that on the cover of my book. I wish this was kind of reversed, and you can actually take images and reverse them. There's tools that will do that. So but for the simplicity of this video, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to try to keep it simple. So I think I like let's see here. So many good images here. Some topics, when you get into them, are very easy to create a book for, but then there's other ones and you'll do it and you're like, oh man, this is so tough. So I think let's just look at this one real quick and see what this looks like. It almost looks like maybe like a Christmas tree in the background. I'm not really into that really. Let's go back. Let's see here. What do we got here? That's kind of good. That's kind of good. It's a little dark. And this can be a little time consuming, but I'll tell you what, you spend a little bit of time here just really focusing on creating these books and creating good quality covers and spending the time to do it. You can create some really good stuff. Ooh, what's this one? Let's just see what that one looks like. That's like a glass of wine with friends. That's kind of cool. I love that. And we might shift this over a little bit, maybe get a little bit in the binding area. That's not terrible. I don't know. It's kind of not quite right. It's a little bit blurry to the background. I'm not a huge fan. Here we go. Let's try this one once. That's kind of interesting. So I like the grapes. I like that look. Um, I like that. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead. Let's see if I can down that just a little bit. Do I have a really big there? I want to pull that down just a little bit. I'm just going to bring this over because I want to make that look good. Okay, looks pretty good right there. So as you can see now, when you see these lines, we don't want to get our writing outside of those lines right there. We want to keep that like away from that part. But when it comes to this image, it doesn't really matter. The key here is that this image will sit not, you don't want to go right to the edge. You want to have this all stick over. And then we have our wine and grapes on this page right here. So on this will end up being the back cover, which will end up, we'll be creating that part here in a little bit. But let's go ahead now. We want to create a center section. This is what I typically do in mine. So when you take an item and you hover it over and it shows this green line here, that means it's in the center. So in my books, I usually create something similar to this in about every single one. And we'll make that white. And then we're also going to round this corner, and we're going to do like a 0.4. And then we're going to grab a solid. And then we're going to just border this really simply. I like to go to like a 20 point maybe. And we'll just hit OK. Okay, so there you go. And what I like about that, it kind of makes this pop a little bit on the page, makes it look nice, and you can kind of see some background stuff and stuff like that. So, all right, now you need to add a title in. So in this case, we're going to call it wine, and then we're going to grab another heading title, and we're just going to grab it, and we're going to put it right here, and we're going to cut word search. Now it's definitely too big for that box, and we can make the box just a touch bigger maybe, and then center this out again. But this is why I make it 2 words there, like 2 section words, and then I'm going to put it like that. Okay, now what we can do is we can actually come in and select these, and maybe we want a different font like that. So for example, maybe I want something that's more of a oh, I don't know. What would be a good font? Let's try that one. Okay, so that was that font. We could do something like that. No, I mean, what you can even do some word searches or searching for what a font was. These fonts right here are all free ones, and they're not going to face any like copyright strikes as a result of that. But maybe we want something a little more fancier like that. That's just a little bit, I don't know, too much cursive maybe, or something along that. Maybe something with cursive. That would be kind of interesting. And you can spend a lot of time sitting here when you're designing these books, just trying to figure out, oh, what is the one I like, and what is going to be the one. This is, to me, like this font right here is a little bit too thin. Let's see here. Like I said, it can take some time. There you go. Let's look at this one. What does that look like? That looks kind of interesting. Wine. And that is in a pretty interesting thought. We could spread it out like that. Do something more like that. I don't know if people will really care for that as much. It looks a little bit stretched, I would say. So, when it comes to designing, I think patience is really important here. You have to really take the time to make it look good. Oh, there we go. That looks cool. Look at that. Wine. I love that. That looks cool. And then on that part, maybe we go with, what's that, day 1 or something. I think that would be good. It looks a little big there, so we're going to have to break it down again. Center it back up. And that's always the key. Make sure you center all this stuff up. Make it look good. Make it look right. And then we're also going to add another image in when we do create this. Wrong. We'll add another image in when we're looking for, we could add like a wine glass or a wine bottle. saw an image before I thought I liked a lot, and I wonder where it might be. So, and you can never find it back when you're looking for it, though. There's some pretty good ones in there. We could add something in like that. We could add this in. These images right here have a transparent background, which means that their backgrounds, there's going to be showing no background with it. And that's fine. That's what we want. So whenever it has that checkered background, so if we add that in, you know, obviously that's our background, our checkered background. We could have something like this, and maybe we set it like that, and then we put in, you know, we could put different things in. What was another image in there? Or we could just grab this one maybe. Oh, here we go. That one's cool. I like this one. Let's add that in there. So we could take that last one out. We could take this. We'll take that other. And we're going to put this one in there. And we'll just shrink it down, make it fit nice. And that kind of fits in really nice with our image. And then we're also going to grab one more term and then we're going to let's change our font to this day one. And we're going to squeeze that font way down like a 25. Okay. And we're going to say for adults, seniors, adults, seniors, if I can spell, and I will put an and, wine, and enthusiast. Okay, and we'll take this and we'll just shrink this down to fit inside. Really good. Oh, that's still too big. I misspelled wine, put win. Okay, so for adults, seniors, and wine enthusiasts. Now, a lot of times I put one for adults, seniors, and teens, but since this book is, and I may just trim this back a little bit more and make this better. Make it a little bit, there we go. So now we got a little bit more on the second line. It's not looking so bad. So we are going to add a word search puzzle into this as well yet, but we haven't quite got that. I want to shrink that down just a touch more. We'll add that in here after a bit. I'll show you exactly how that is done as well. So again, this is going to be a longer video, so just hang with me as we create this entire book and showing you. So it's kind of shaping up pretty good here. We've got our background. Now, honestly, when I create this entire thing, I like to put something on the back page that looks a little interesting. It kind of fits the topic. It's not just like a blank color or anything like that. So, all right, now moving on. Now we got to create the actual puzzles themselves. Now you might be thinking, how do we do this? What do we do? And this can be a little complicated, you know, if you've never done this before, but it's not actually that hard. So I've actually created all the words I need for it. But if you're going to go to, because this would take a long time to do, I created it ahead of time. So if you're going to do that, I have a sheet I made, and I recommend you do the same thing. I got an Amazon KDP templates. These are all my templates for everything I do when I create one of these books. So here is right here. I grab this word idea prompt. I'm creating a word about X, and I'll go back to ChatGPT and I'll just post that in there. And I put in wine, W-I-N-E, and hit go. Now, this will start to generate those words. One thing you will have to pay attention to when you do this process, though, and this is the only part I use ChatGPT on, is creating the word list, because this takes probably the most part of the time is creating all these words, because you will need 495 words. Now what I do is I create a simple template and that I can put all these words into. And then when you do this, the thing you'll have to be paying attention to is that none of the words have a will have a copyright strike against it. So it's not an actual name of anything. You can't use that. That will be a little bit of a problem if you do that. So here it goes. You created a list. Say more words, and we'll keep going. So it looks like there's so many different ones. I mean, I'm looking at a lot of these. I think a lot of these look good. Vineyard tour, tasting room, seafood, these all seem pretty good. If one is an actual brand name, I would have to replace it. So make sure that you do that. And then when you get all these words built up, what you'll want to do is just put them in your list and just keep building this whole thing out until you get 495. That does take a little bit of time, but it's well worth it because you create a book and it's a little harder. Yes, I understand that, but at the same time, these are people who will, in the end, if people aren't willing to put in the work to create these, this is going to be a leg up for you. So just remember that going forward. So, all right. So now we got the words, we got all that put together. I showed you how that works. I just created a simple template, word search, 495 word template. That way it helps me, show me how many I got created. It makes it easier. So, if you have any questions on how this is done, let me know in the comments below. I can surely help you do that. So that is that right there. So, all right, now that we got the words created, we need to do is we're going to take the form. And one thing I should mention, each one should have a space. Each puzzle should have a space between it. So this will be the first puzzle, and then there's a space, and next puzzle, space. And this whole thing should be done exactly like that. And then when you get to the end of it, you just have to hit download and then comma separated value. And then it will create a comma separated value version of that puzzle. And then you can pull it out. I put it right on my desktop. And then what we will do now that we got that created, we can come into our puzzle book and we can say, all right, we want to create a puzzle. Now we're going to go to a very specific puzzle in here. And the one we're going to use is this. It's in here. Word search. Okay, word search standard. This is the one we're going to use. Hit that one, and then we're going to hit select from page 1, okay, to page 55, because we said there were 55 puzzles with 9 words each. And we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to go to next. Okay, now that we have this, Amazon KDP guidelines is fine. 9 puzzles per work, and we do diagonal and reverse. So I like this. It makes it a little harder, a little more fun, I think. You can take those out if you prefer, but I think this makes it a better crossword if you have those in. We keep going down. None of this stuff has to change. It can all be the same. I'm going to reset that. Okay. We're going to actually go in and grab our wine search one now. Okay, so everything is listed. Now, if something isn't right, and I've had this happen a few times where the thing loaded and they said there was an error. And what the error typically was is if there is a word with only 2 letters, they will not accept it. It has to be at least 3 letters or more to be accepted into the puzzle. So we got that right here. And we're good. So now we're going to hit continue, and now that's the page. Now we're going to select the solutions part of it. So we're going to go from page 56 now, okay, to page 110. Hit OK. And this will be our solution sections with the book, and then we will submit. Okay. Oh, now it says there's an error. Row 274 is 2 words, and row 461 is 2 words. So we need to go back to our wine list. So what was the first one? It was 274. We'll go to 274, and a lot of times you can fix them pretty simply just by maybe adding something to it. So pH, I'm going to say pH balance. Pretty simple fix there. I'll just say pH balance because that's what they're talking about, the pH of the water. And then 461 What is 461? Add. We'll just say advertising. So that would be the full name for that. So pretty easy fixes right there. Okay, so now that we got that, we found our errors. And that's probably one thing if you want to save a lot of time, is make sure that you check all those over, and that'll save you a little bit of time there. So now we're going to go back. We're going to upload this. There we go. And we're going to grab this and we're going to push it out to here. And we're going to take this other one and we're going to just scrap it because we don't want that one out there no more. So now let's go back to our Word book that we're creating. We'll go back to here. We'll hit reset, hit OK, and then we'll go back out and hit click for CVS file, comma separated value, and then this is the one, and then we'll hit continue. So solutions, now we have to go from page 56, okay, to page 110, and we're going to hit submit. So now this time it has worked, and so we have the list correct now. So as it's creating this, take a few minutes, but there you go. There's the first puzzle right there. And these are all the puzzles right here. So we can look at some of these and see what we've created. Looks pretty good, I say. Honestly, it looks really good. So one of the things I'm going to do now is I'm going to use one of these puzzles. Everything looks good. I also like to go through and scan through each one of these puzzles just to make sure they look good. So for example, you know, words don't stick out on the sides or anything like that. And then I also like to just make sure everything just looks like it's formatted correctly. So you can scan through all of this stuff here and just kind of figure that, you know, see what's going, it all looks like. Does it look right? You know, so from page 1 all the way to page 110, this whole thing is going to turn out correctly for you. So, but once we do that, we can go here and we can hit we can hit that and we hit copy. I want to copy one of these puzzles and we want to put it in our book. And reason being is because it always looks good on the front of a cover if we can have one of these word searches on there, because it makes it easier to identify when we're creating our book. So now I've copied that. I'm going to go to here. I'm just going to go to click on here. And I'm going to hit paste. Okay, now our puzzle showed up over here. We just got to grab it and position it now. So one of the things, if you'll notice these words down here. So I got that section highlighted. Okay, so now that once we got this set, we can go into this puzzle now and we can just click on that. We'll hit here on these 3 little dots on the right here and just hit edit contents. Now what we want to do is take out things like this puzzle 7. We wanted to just delete that. Okay, so we take that out, that title of the puzzle. We don't really need that. We can take this and make it bigger. We don't want these words down here either. So the way we get rid of those is all those words are shown right here. So we want to take those and just individually go through each one of those words and delete them from the puzzle. So the way we do that, we got to go through. I know this is a little bit of painstaking work, but in the end, you obviously see that this will look really good when it's done. Delete 2 more. Delete and delete. Okay. All right. Now that we got that done, one thing I do want to do is I show that this image is not in front of this image. So that image is right there. This is above that. So we want to put this we want to move this below that. So it shows our image behind this. The word search is kind of behind this. So I like it to look like that personally. Maybe I'll make it just a touch bigger. Okay, now we're going to center this out. And we got this. And I like to maybe put it right there like that. There we go. It's looking pretty good. I think we could move it up. Maybe we'll put it up over a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. So now we have our cover for our wine word search done. And I grabbed this image right here and put it on there and have everything on there as we should. So there you go. Now a couple more things that we got to add to this to make it really pop, I think. So I'm going to add one more image here. And I just got to search down on here. We could do something like that. Or we could do like that shape. I love this shape right here. It works pretty good. Go back. Okay, now we're going to put this down. I want to put it in this. Oops, sorry, grab the wrong one again. Grab this image. We'll stick it up here. Maybe I'm not the right image. We'll grab a different one here. There's one image in there I have to find, and this always is a little tricky to find. That one's a little. There we go. That one right there. That's the one I use. I just use this image as a way to put a badge on the image. So for example, just to show like maybe, you know, it's got something. So we can make it a color. I like a wine color or something like that. Or, you know, you could do some research and figure out what colors are going to be the best that work together. And if you do, that's great because it really takes time to put some of this stuff together and make it look great. We can also do a little bit of a border on it. We might do a 1. I like to do a 1 or a 2. I think that looks better. Makes this whole thing really pop, make it look better. Personally, you know, so if we make it thicker or there, you know, we could do a 10 on it or something maybe, and it makes this whole thing pop and look good. And then we can come over here and say we want another heading. We want to put that on here, and we're going to say 50 plus on this one. So let's grab it, and then we're going to let's try a color here. What's white look like? Oh, we gotta highlight that. So we gotta highlight it, put it white, and then we're gonna grab another one. And as you can tell, this stuff gets a little bit tedious, which is fine. It just takes time, a little bit of work to put all this together. So I'm just gonna put puzzles right here, Puzzle, and I'm gonna shrink it down even smaller. And we're just going to place that right in there for now. Oh, we're going to readjust some stuff here, obviously. And we're going to change that color to white as well. And I want to make those two look good. Okay. I think that looks really good. Now, one thing I want to do now is I'm going to take this whole thing. I'm going to take these two items here. We'll just click off, and we're just kind of contract, pull that together, and then what we have to do is turn it, and the trick is to turn both of them just enough so it looks kind of like that, and we could adjust that a little bit. There you go, 50 plus puzzles. Pretty cool. We want to readjust this image again, put it in the right spot. Okay, there we go. Got it all put together, and there is our book, guys. I'll move this back over. So there you go. There's the cover. There's the pages. There's everything we need for the book itself. We'll hit save one more time. All right. Pretty cool. Pretty good. I think we got something pretty neat here. Pretty good. So there's our finished solution pages. and everything. So we got it all put together. So now that we got this, now we got to do is download the book, and we're going to choose this first option up here, download current project CMYK printed book. And we're going to hit OK. And it's going to go to work. It's going to start creating this book itself. And then once it is done, it will download the book right to our download file. So it's just about done. And creating the project archive. There we go. It's just about done. And there we go. So now I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this. Grab this over here, put it in Word. Okay, so now we have it. And then I'm also going to extract this file while I'm at it, because it's in a zipped file. So you have to go down and extract the actual file. Hit extract. Okay, now that we have the file extracted, and this is what the final file will look like. This is what everything will be when we're done. For now, we're just gonna wait on that because we gotta set up the book on KDP. I'm gonna hit save. All right, it looks good. So now that we have the book created, we're done with the book bolt tool now. We don't need this anymore for the rest of the video. So now we need to do is transition over to KDP. Amazon KDP is where you're going to be publishing this book. It's the marketplace that the book is going to exist on. So if you go to Amazon.com or wherever you have your book listed, this is where your book will be. So from here, once you got signed up and got your account created for KDP, you will have to input your tax information, your address. You will also have to link your account to get paid. All that information, that stuff will have to get done before you can actually go and set this book on here. So that I recommend getting that done as quickly as possible. It's not tough to do. You don't have to create a special Amazon account either. You can use your current existing Amazon account to do this. You don't need to set up an LLC or any of that stuff too. Some people do that. That's fine, but we aren't doing that in this case. So we just, we're trying to make a little bit of money starting with this. If this turns out to be something huge for you, then down the road, then you can definitely do that. So we're going to go in, we're going to create a new title, and this thing loads. Then we're going to click on paperback, because that's what our book is going to be. It's not going to be a hardcover book or anything like that. So then we want to have the title. So this is where I will come back here in reference to my Amazon KDP template list here. And what you'll be able to do here is just grab stuff. So when you get all of this created, this will help you get this part of it done faster. So all I have to do is come in here, grab this in there, and I'm going to put wine word search puzzle book. Okay, pretty simple. And then here I'm going to come over, grab my title. Now these are ones I found to work the best, at least what I found from all my research of doing this, and makes it simple and fast for the entire process. So we look here because it's easy to read print, and then we want to put these X's here. We want to put some keywords in. So we're going to talk about the main one is wine. So wine. And then the next one might be wineries. So we might say wine making and more. So that's the only thing I add there. Then we come in here, we'll add an author name. Whatever you decide to put in there is fine. It doesn't matter. Put that in. And then now we want to put our description in. So to create the description, that can be a little bit to just create one yourself. So what I have done is I went in, I found somebody's particular description on their book. I like what they had. I copied it. And then I say, hey, create one similar to this. So we'll create a new chat here. So go to here. And we're going to say wine. Or we're going to say X. Hold on. Push that over. So now it's going to ask me for what topic would I like to make this about. And as soon as it generates it here, it usually takes a few seconds. Okay, here we go. This right here. So I typed it in up here, I believe. Yeah, wine. So this one created it all right here. But we want to review it. We want to make sure. So for example, large print, our print is not large print. It's, I would say, easy to read print, because large print has to be a certain particular size. So we'll go ahead and copy this, and we're going to go ahead and put this right in our description. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to put easy to read print. And let's see, anything else? Relax wine, simply someone who enjoys a cozy. Sometimes they give me some suggestions on that, and we want to make sure that this word like this is in there, because that'll help us for our rankings. All right, so there you go. Pretty simple, pretty quick. Power of AI right there. So publishing rights, it's my own. I own this copy. Primary audience, is it marketing towards kids? No, definitely not in this book. So primary marketplace is going to be Amazon.com. And then for categories, we're going to select humor and entertainment, and then select, we're going to go to puzzles and games, and then we're going to select puzzles, word games, and word search. And then we're going to hit save categories. These will be the categories where our book's going to exist at on Amazon. We can choose up to 3, so these are the ones I recommend. So next, we have to put keywords in here. It's optional, but I recommend that you do. I put them in there every single time. I always try to put them in there and just make sure. So I start with my main one, wine word search puzzle book. And then I might go, let's see, we'll go ahead and we'll pull up Amazon real quick here. And we'll type in the keyword here. What we're going to do is just back it up. We're going to back it up. See what we get. Wine word search books. Okay, so we could do that one. We could put that one in. So we're going to go back here, hit that. Okay, then we go to, we're going to go back again. Wine. And what else do we got? We can also scan through some of these here. Wine and spirits word search. So wine word search, wine and spirits, wine word search. So many different ones here. Wine and cheese word search. Oh, that's cool. So we'll go back and we'll grab that one. Wine and cheese. We can probably put that one there. I'm sure that would be in this. Okay, we're going to go back. This is one I typically put in there as well, because this is for adults. So we grab that one. Let's see. We don't have to worry, and we don't have to worry that it's capitalized or anything particular like that. And then let's see, wine. We'll start word. Let's see, large print. Our book is not large print, so I'm not going to put that in there. And let's see, we could try that. Even though we're not, we could still get recommended. It doesn't really matter. Anything else? What else can I see here? Wine, food and wine. Beer, wine, and whiskey word search. Vintage wine word search puzzle book. There we go. That'd be a good one. Vintage. Vintage wine word search book. We'll just we'll use that one. I think that's pretty good. Vintage wine word search book. So publication date would be date released, and then right away. So release my book for sale, and then we're going to hit save. And now we will move on to the next section where we have to create and assign an ISBN number. With Amazon, this is something that's free. It's not very hard to do. And we'll hit assign. Pretty simple, pretty quick. Okay, got that. And then we want to select a few things here now. Print options, black and white paper interior with white paper. That's what we want. Size 6x9, we want that. And then we want to hit bleed here, PDF only. So we don't want to hit no bleed. We want bleed, and then we want either a matte or glossy finish. Either one does not matter. Glossy is fine with me. And then we're going to upload the manuscript. So now this is the next part we have to do. We have to create this manuscript. And let's see, word search, puzzle book. We found our thing here. Now we have to upload the manuscript. This would be the interior part of the actual design of the book. So we'll upload that. And this will take a few minutes to do that. But once it uploads, then we can move on to the next part here. Okay, now we've got that uploaded. Now we want to go down, and there will be a finished part in here. It'll show up here in just a second, just like this. Okay, there we go. Now we want to upload the cover. So upload the cover, and we want to do the exterior part, cover. So now it's going to upload that part of the book. Okay, now that the book is created, this is what the final book will look like. Pretty simple, pretty nice, pretty good looking. It shows our ISBN number, shows everything on it. Looks pretty good. And then we can go through and click through the book. We can start to review everything, make sure it all looks correct. And looks like everything is correct here. So I don't see any issues with it. The words all look good. We're within the lines. So everything here looks pretty good. And then these are the solutions. So obviously those are all going to be good. So we'll go ahead and we'll approve this. And there we go. Now we have that approved. We can go on to the final step, and that is going to be pricing the book itself. Now pricing, again, if you watched my last video, you know what it cost roughly for a lot of these books to be published. We want to put it in all territories as far reaching as we can get it. And then I also expand distribution to these other areas. Don't know if it helps or not, but it may. I usually can price my book. You can start at say $7.99, which would give you roughly a royalty of $1.68, and which might help track buyers quicker and get more reviews to your book. But over time, if you get a lot of people, you can start to go towards that $9.99 price range, which will give you $3.67 per book. Printing is going to cost $2.32, obviously. I like to go $8.99 because eventually I do want to go to $9.99. I think it's going to be a lot easier to go up just $1 versus $2 eventually. So, and then the last thing I want to do here is go ahead and just finish out these numbers here. I like to make them all kind of the same. So $6.99, $7.99, and you know, I don't know if I'll ever get sales from any of these countries, to be honest. Not really sure, but hey, it exists there, and it will exist in all those marketplaces on Amazon. So anyone who does have that option, it is available there. So just a few more to do here. Let's see, we'll just do 99 on this one, and then see 9 there, and we'll do 99 there. A couple more. So a little bit, this one we'll just put 99, and this one's 99. And one more, Amazon AU. Okay, so there you go. That's all of them. That's the pricing. That's everything we're looking at. And once we have all of that, we can hit publish our paperback book. So now the book is getting saved on Amazon. It's got to go through a process where Amazon is going to check the book over, and within 72 hours you should have roughly an idea of what your book will be on Amazon. So and you will get an email about it once it does go live on Amazon. So just showing you again, this is the one that I created. It's pretty good. It looks good. I think it looks great. Will it sell? We don't know yet. So again, this is a business of creating a bunch of these. It's not like you're going to create one and it's going to do really well. You're just going to have to create a bunch of these to find out what does work. So hope you found that this video helpful. Hope you this helps you as you get started with your business. Again, if you want to get started like me, go ahead and check out the in the description below. Check out BookBolt, my affiliate link there, and you can get that 3-day trial, and you can start creating your KD Amazon books today. So check it out, and I will see you in the next video.